Hey guys, I'm Paul, and on this Music Nerds episode, I've got special guest Sam from Skinny Hobos. Now, some of you might not know, Skinny Hobos only a two-piece band, so Sam is going to tell me how he gets a nice, full, big drum sound to get Skinny Hobos in the one. So, how you doing, Sam?
I'm alright, thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
Very well, thank you.
Thanks for doing this.
That's alright. This is only the second time I've set my kit up today, and I'm going to do it again later tonight.
Awesome.
Alright, life of a drummer.
This is a pretty monstrous kit you got here, man. Where do you want to begin? What's your favourite drum? Where should we start?
Well, I guess what's a sound all about? You know what, let's start with the kit as a whole. So, the kit itself, or what is I guess the basis of the kit, is the three pieces kick drum, rack tom, floor tom. They're a Ludwig Epic crossover, which is kind of a cool, it's a walnut and poplar hybrid shell with a birch reinforcement ring on each sort of in there. So there's a little like 4 plies that just reinforce the top and bottom of each drum. There's really nice warm vintage style shells, which vintage drums are kind of, well, they've always been a big thing, but in the sort of newer market, especially the intermediate market, they're coming back quite a bit. I bought this in 2014. Yeah, 2014, and it was about a year old then. I bought it new then, so yeah, she's been my baby for the last few years.
So when you bought it, was it complete like this, or what have you added to it since then?
Nope, so when I first started with Skinny Hobos, there was the kit, it was kick drum, ooh, that needs a tune, and a matching snare drum, and I had hi-hats, I had a different ride cymbal, and I had this crash on that side, and that was it, so it was really simple. Since then, I have added, I'll get to the cymbals in a minute, but for the drums, this guy.
That's a nice, yeah, that's a big sound.
Yeah, first time I hit that, I noticed my test was literally rumbling.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, alright, ball rumbling tom, that's awesome. So that's a Ludwig 1976 Pro Beat, 6-ply maple, 18 by 16 inch tom. Picked it up off Trade Me, off a dude down in Tauranga, who had the rest of the kit. But the rest of the kit got stolen. But he never used the 18-inch ever. It stayed in a bag in his attic, which was really cool because I got it basically new.
That's it.
And it has been my favourite.
New old top, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. New old top, exactly.
Wrong.
And my next favourite one, I have to do an adjustment here, which is kind of the signature. You know, every drummer loves a snare drum, and I love mine, which is a Samplonius snare drum company, Samplonius Drum Company. Now this is made by a fellow called Jody Samplonius, based in Waiuku, South Auckland, and he makes all his drums out of stave timber. Now,
What's stave timber?
well, you've opened,
I'm guessing.
you've opened up a can of worms here. So
Yeah.
there are two types of, a few types of drum construction, but the most common one is ply and stave.
Okay.
Now ply is all of these ones here, which is kind of rings of wood. So you've got plies, kind of like you have a ply top on a guitar.
Yep.
Yeah, so rings of wood that are stacked sort of 1, 2, 3. When you've got clear heads, you can actually see the plies on the inside there. And on these ones, you can see the light and the dark and the lighting in the different types of wood. Now a stave drum, which is this guy here, is planks of wood that are placed, sort of vertical planks like that are placed in a circle, glued together, and then held shut.
Yeah.
So if you look closely there, you can actually sort of see the lines of the stave. And I'll show you as well, because I'm showing the people right now.
Oh, I can definitely see the different pieces of wood there,
Yeah.
so that's
really cool.
Really nicely constructed.
And so he makes all his drums out of recycled New Zealand timbers.
Okay.
Native New Zealand timbers, so old decks, fencing, etc.
Wow, yeah.
So yeah, so it gives new life to the wood, and you get these little imperfections like that.
Gives it a nice bit of character though.
Yeah, little imperfections in the drum. That make it a little more unique and interesting.
Kiwi made.
And this is probably the crowning jewel of my kit. It's a 14 by 8, it's a very thin shell, but it resonates like nothing else you've ever heard.
Awesome.
Like we played in venues and mic'd up the kit, and I go to hit the snare, and the sound head goes, nah, I don't need to put that one up at all. It shatters glass if you're not careful. If I played it hard enough, I probably would shatter that window, so I'm not going to do that. But what I like
It'll be
most,
fun to see it.
it will be fun to see, except I don't have the money to replace it right now. So, my favourite thing about the drums though is that, that warm, big sound. This was the first kit I played when Skinny Hobos first jammed.
Yep.
Which is kind of, we were jammed in a shop. I used to work, still do work in a music store, but I had a jam with my guitarist and I pulled this kit down, played it once and was like, that's an awesome kit, I'm gonna buy that one day. And 6 months later I did.
Excellent. Now, I bet everybody's itching to know, are you a double kick or a single kick guy?
I am a single kick.
You're a single kick?
I am a single kick. I used to play double kick, I used to play in a metal band.
Yeah.
But for the last 4 years, I've been predominantly the right foot only. I do practice with a double kick when I'm on my electronic kit.
Okay.
In fact, I have, where is it? There's the other half of it there. So I do have a double kick pedal.
There's a kick here?
Yeah, it's kind of sits on the electronic kit, hence it's a little bit this year. But yeah, otherwise for my playing for Skinny Hobos, it's all single foot. I've learned how to double with a single, so you got.
Yeah. Getting that heel toe tappy magical thing that you've done is still
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's two ways of doing that. So there's heel toe that you know about. I do a slide. So I kind of like I'll kick the pedal and then lift up and slide forward.
Okay.
And I'll
yeah, give us a little.
You guys can't see it from here, but
you'll be able to hear.
So you can see how I kick once, lift up, and slide forward, and kick again.
Oh, and you can feel that coming through you.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't distort your sound as much.
Oh, probably has.
It probably did.
Oh well, more realistic at home for you.
Yeah, it's like they're in the room.
Got a little friend down here?
Oh yeah, we got a little Brucey down here. He's a flat dog. He's a red terrier, and he loves people and getting in the way of people carrying things.
And obviously drums.
Yeah, he's not too scared by the loud noise, which I'm kind of surprised about. Good on you, Bruce.
Brilliant. So you were saying cymbals.
Cymbals. All right, next part. So I have played mostly, in fact, almost entirely minor cymbals for the last few years.
Minor cymbals.
Minor. So AA minor.
Oh, it's a brand.
That's the brand. You might be able to see that on that camera there. AA minor. They're a German brand. I used to play Zildjian cymbals, which I loved, but I got those two. I got those two when I was a student in the metal band at the time, so I needed something darker and heavier, and I have not looked back ever since.
Oh, excellent.
Which is really, they're a lot of fun. Except my hi-hats are a little different. I have cracked a lot of hi-hats in my time.
Okay.
So I currently have an Zildjian A Custom Master Sound bottom on the top, and the Meinl Byzance 14-inch dark hats on dark bottom on the bottom. So I've got two bottoms making my hi-hats right now. So my crashes are both by Meinl Byzance medium thick crashes, 18 and 19. Nice and dark, but they've still got a nice explosion to them, a nice attack to them. On this side, this is one of my favourite ones, except I cracked it.
So that's why you've got the little nick out of it. Did you just chop it out, did you?
Yeah, well I didn't. I took it to a guy, Bruce King, who if you want to talk to anybody about music nerds, Bruce King is your man.
Oh, okay.
So you can see
Bruce King here.
Yeah, Bruce King's a man. So you can see that chop out of the cymbal there, so there was a crack in there. I got it chopped out a little bit, and then it cracked further, so I got it chopped out further again.
Okay, and you can just keep on going.
You can, but so the alloys, the metal in this, the alloys are very, very specific, and as soon as you crack it, you change the entire structure of the alloy, which means the whole sound of the cymbal changes.
Yep.
So this is now, it's still usable, but not in the same way that I used to use it. It was a main crash on this side, and now I use it pretty much like a china. It's short, it's fast, it's really sharp.
Nice.
Very chinery. So that's kind of my effects symbol, and I do a few rides on here as well. This is probably my favorite symbol, and you can see, I don't know, you may be able to see that pattern on there, which is quite mottled and dark. So that's a Meinl 22-inch raw bell ride. It does have indeed a raw finish bell. Really dark, really heavy. I smashed the crap out of that thing, and I've had that since 2013. I smashed the crap out of it repeatedly, and it hasn't died on me yet, so.
Awesome.
I'm kind of waiting for the day, but I also don't want it to come because they are not cheap. So yeah, those are my cymbals. I like them dark, but I like them explosive as well, hence the kind of more traditional crashes. And then I do as much as I want to add some cymbals, I don't know exactly what I want to add yet. I think I want to have another set of hi-hats over here.
Okay.
As an auxiliary to go between the two. Maybe a splash. I haven't quite decided if I really need them or if I feel like a pussy playing them.
Okay. And when you do that, would you look at getting rid of your hardware and going for sort of a more rack mount setup, or you think you've still got enough room to get in there with the extra stands and stuff?
I don't. I want to avoid a rack just because I can't justify having a rack.
Okay.
It's really expensive for starters. Like we're looking at minimum $600
Just for the
for the full system.
Right.
Clamps and everything. But it just seems like a bit overkill. So I can get a clamp that will come off one of those cymbal stands.
Okay.
And just put the hi-hats on that, make it nice and easy. So just one less full stand to carry around because they are not light. I think my hardware case, so I have, 4 single stands, hi-hat, throne, snare, and the tom legs, and my hardware case probably weighs anywhere up to about 40 kilos.
Yeah. Tell me about the cowbells.
I
Everybody's
do.
cowbell mad these days, so...
It's funny how that happens, eh? It kind of comes and goes in waves. My cowbells. I have 2 cowbells. One is attached to, so you got this guy here attached to the bass drum. This is the LP Black Beauty cowbell. Kind of really a classic cowbell.
Okay.
By the name Black Beauty. Really is. That's one that's been around, I think, forever.
Yeah.
I don't know how long exactly, but it's a classic cowbell. So one of our singles called Suburban Living.
We'll take a look around the block, barring nothing to show. Little boxes all the same now in a row. To get a reaction from
Most of the entirety of the verse is played on that cowbell. Instead of the hi-hat, I just played the cowbell because it's funny.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's pretty much the whole reason why I did it, because it was funny.
And then, hey, but you're a showman, you're entertaining. So.
Exactly. I mean, it's stuck. My guitarist liked it, so I was like, okay, I'll keep doing it. And my other one is the Taylor Hawkins signature, which is this big gold guy on the outside.
That thing is a beast.
Yeah, it's really loud.
Yeah.
And that one I use more in fills and as accents kind of thing. Actually, one of our new songs I'm working on incorporates a lot of that cowbell. Kind of to complement with the bass at the same time.
So have you always had cowbell on your kits, or has it been a recent thing, or?
For Skinny Hobos mostly, yeah. I kind of added it as a joke and then started using it a lot more properly. But it's funny, so my old band in high school gave me one of these for one of my 10th birthday, I want to say.
Okay.
And I never really used it in that band.
Yep.
Just because I don't know, I didn't really find a place for it. But I still had it. And then, years later, I found a use for it and incorporated it. And now it's still there. And I can't see it leaving anytime soon. In saying that, if anyone watching this wants to come up with a better, more secure way to mount the cowbell to the bass drum, because you've got this guy here which clamps on to the rim, and then that clamps onto the bar, but this thing constantly moves. It's a piece of crap, but I don't have any other way of mounting it. So,
feedback, guys.
if anyone has another way or has any ideas, share them, send them my way, because I would be most grateful. So those are my cowbells. There is one other small thing that I want to show you, which do I have my right keys on me? I totally do, because I feel like you would appreciate this.
Yes.
Now, one of the smallest things in any drummer's arsenal is the bass drum beater.
Okay.
That's a thing that clips into the pedal to hit the bass drum.
In other words, the thing that goes doof, doof.
Then it goes doof doof. Now, most of them are made out of plastic. You get some that are made out of felt, some that are made out of wood. This guy is a custom job made by a company called Lowboy Beaters.
I
in
love
Colorado.
it. Yes.
Yeah,
I think
see
we
that?
need to have a little close up.
Yeah, so it's solid maple. It's got 2 ends. At that end is for sort of softer, more defined playing, and then that end is flat and beats the living crap out of everything. But this one is special, as you can see by that little symbol there, made to commemorate legislative laws in the state of Colorado that legalize marijuana.
Oh.
This is one of 5 in the world of this design, and I got the last one. So I'm pretty stoked with it. It's like the crowning jewel of my kit that nobody ever sees.
Yeah, we'll just tuck down there in the corner in that little bit of awesomeness. So that is so cool.
If I hadn't told you guys, you wouldn't know about it. So I kind of like that.
No, that's cool.
Well, hello.
And then I think all that we've really got left to talk about now is your skin selection.
Indeed. Although I will make one slight correction. They're technically heads.
Oh, correct away, mate.
Yeah. No, that's what it is.
I understand the drum in the term of the doof doof and the bang bang.
Yeah,
so
fair
you need
enough.
to enlighten me and the other nerds out there.
It's one of those things that I've only been made really particular on because one of my superiors at work is very particular on it as well. So everyone calls it a drum skin. The ones that you see on drum kits are not technically skin. They're not made out of animal skin.
Okay, yeah.
Now you get some. Once upon a time they were calf skin,
Yeah.
and so that's why the drum skin came about. Now they're synthetic, so they're technically drum heads. However, it's only wanky drummers like me that are going to call you up on it. They're not my favourites, but they do sound nice. They're the Evans UV ones. They're a single ply, coated head, and the UV treated. Shut up, Bruce.
It's enough contribution from you.
I know, right? They're UV treated, so they're supposed to be stronger, last longer, etc., etc. However, as you can see, if you look here, I have already been.
Still have got a few dents in there.
I have already. I've only been on
Can
there.
you help me settle one of these myths here? A little while ago on the old Facebook, came up with a video of a guy with a heat gun.
Ah, yes.
And he was heating up his skin.
Yep.
And he made them come out immaculately. Would you personally do that to your skin? Would you rather? Do you think it changes the sound, or would you just leave the dent in there and not worry about sort of? What would you do? Like, do you think the video's shit?
I mean, the thing is, the theory behind, the physics behind it works. Obviously, it is a chip, and you heat it up and it expands.
Yep.
So, however, again, that like a crack in a cymbal, that will totally change the molecules and the makeup of the head itself. So, I wouldn't do it on a kit that I was going to perform or record on.
Okay.
But if I am in a teaching situation and I need heads that will work, then or the only one that I have, I can dented and destroy, then absolutely. If it puts it back to a near restorative state, then yeah, if it's for a bang about practice room or teaching room kind of kit, yeah, it totally works. Save money on head, just reheat.
Well, thanks for sorting that for me. I had a little bit of a debate over that a while ago, so it's good to get a real drummer's opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never done it myself. I have seen the video that you're talking about as well. And yeah, the physics behind it totally works. But I wouldn't do it on a kit that I want to actually sound cool. If I got dented heads, I just buy new heads. I try not to do that too often though because it's really expensive.
So when you're playing out there live, how many mics are you sort of running? Are you running a mic on every single drum, or are you just got a few overheads going on? What sort of configuration do you usually use?
Nowadays, I mean, once upon a time, I probably had a smaller setup, but these days it's a full mic kit. So it's kick in with usually a short bed 91, one in the kick mic, one outside of the kick drum, one on the snare top, one on the snare bottom, one on each tom. I then have 2 overheads. I have one over here on the hi-hat and cowbell, and then I have another one inside here on that cowbell as well. Just a short SM57. And that's kind of a classic. You can put SM57s on pretty much everything if you want. But our sound tech, Danny Champion, shout out to her. She likes the Audix D-series microphones. So D2 on those 2 toms, a D4 on the 18-inch tom, and a D6 on the kick drum. And then either an Audix i5 or a 57 or whatever on the snare drum. It's loud enough that it's going to be mic'd up. But yeah, the D-series mics are really cool because they're all, so the D2, D4, D6, they're all specifically designed to get more bass end a lot the further down you go. So more low end, and the microphones are more low end responsive. So the D4 and the 18 is great, picks up the attack but all that rumble. And the D6, now with a bass drum, as far as I know regarding mics, there's kind of like 3 bass drum mics that everybody likes or you commonly see, and that's a Shure Beta 91, which is your little flat one.
That's got with the sort of triangle-y sort of top on,
and
that sits right in the middle of the kick drum.
Yeah, that goes inside the drum. Then you have your Beta 52, which is your big snowball type one, so snow cone type thing.
Yep.
And that sits outside the bass drum in the port and picks up all the air that comes through there. As far as Danny Champion is concerned, the Audix D6 is the best of both of those mics in one.
Okay.
So she uses that exclusively.
And that mounts on the outside, is it? Or
That's a kick out mic, so that sits on a stand and in the sound hole and picks up all that air coming through.
Excellent.
For just quickly on the topic of bass drum and miking, this is it's a 22-inch wide by 20 inches deep kick drum. Now that is extraordinarily deep for a kick drum 22 inches.
Yeah.
Normally they're 16 inches or 18 inches.
Well, I've been seeing people with like in the small clubs using 15 and 14 inch ones.
Yep.
Because they're trying to.
Save space.
They don't want to go electric, but
Yeah.
you know they don't have the space to have or the people are too close to you.
Yeah,
22
exactly.
inch kick.
Yeah.
That puts out a bit of bass. So.
Yeah, my kick that I'll play with you tonight is a 20 by 16.
Oh.
So yeah, that's a lot. So I got a 20 by 16 and a 22 by 20. So I've got a wee baby and then a big old cannon.
Yeah.
But I was
big place. Bring the big one.
no, trust me, that'll break some windows. But I was playing a little bridge the other day that was an 18 by 14.
Okay.
It's really tiny, but it sounded really nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's that. Quickly regarding heads, my snare head is a Power Stroke, Remo Power Stroke. I know I got Evans on the toms, Remo on the snare. What are you doing? Sacrilege! I don't care. The Remo still sounds good. The snare still sounds good. So that's a Power Stroke. Currently it's a P77. Normally it's a Power Stroke 3, which is a single ply with a loose muffle ring on the inside. So I like the single ply because you get a lot more resonance and response out of the drum. But the muffle ring helps take away any dumb shitty overtones.
Yeah.
So any of that high bass, when you hit it, cuts a lot of that out.
Awesome.
But I do, speaking of resonance, also have, most people call these moon gels. These are actually sky gel, same shit, different toilet. But these are little soft rubber pads. You know those like sticky hand things you have?
Yes. Yep.
Same material. So they just go on the drum and they basically just cut out a little bit of extra resonance, they make it a bit more controlled. I will give you a demonstration. 16-inch tom with the sky gel. 16-inch tom without the sky gel.
Yeah, it gets.
That one's actually not too much. Let's try this one. Just a little more resonance. Let's try the snare as well. That's with this. Get it off. Is without. Well, here we go. You may not be able to hear it through your phone speakers, but there's a little bit of topping resonance.
Yeah,
that
it's a
just
little
hangs-
bit sharper.
Yeah, that just hangs around after you hit the drum. So that's what these guys are for. And valuable in live and studio situations. Nicely dank on there, and they stay on the drums and like the bags.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming along to talk to everybody. What's the best way to find Skinny Hobo music? Where do we buy your album?
Well, you can buy our album on May 18th. Now, I don't know if this is going to be out for May 18th.
It might be, it might not.
Long story short, you can get our music wherever you find good music. If you use Spotify, if you use Google Play, if you use Apple Music, I think even like Deezer is another thing that it's on, which is a weird thing that I don't know about.
Never heard of that either, so cool. I'll look it up.
We're not on Tidal. If you're one of those like music geeks that uses Tidal, we're not on that. But yeah, the debut album is out May 18th. It'll be again on all those platforms. You can buy it on Bandcamp as well at the time. You can buy all our current singles on Bandcamp. You can check out all our music videos on YouTube, everything, and find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All of that at Skinny Hobos. Skinny as in slim, and hobos as in homeless people. Spelled exactly as it sounds.
Easy as that.
Thanks for having me, Paul.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Sam. Well, should we go make some noise?
Yeah, let's do that.
See you guys later. Give us a little boom boom ch before I get in the shot.
Bruce is like, ooh, noise.
Nice, I like that.